Quote from the book: "Sustainability management is the integrated management of the company and its value creation chain in accordance with economic, social and ecological principles. For example, environmental measures may enable the company to save costs or prevent damage to its image." Okay, this is an area where the purchasing chessboard is starting to show its age. Generally speaking, the chessboard has proven to be robust since its first publication back in 2008. But sustainability is the one area that Alenka, Michael, Robert, Ramon and I would address differently today. So in this video I will speak about sustainability in procurement and specifically about driving for a carbon neutral supply chain. Let's get started. Did you know that 8 supply chains account for half of the global emission of greenhouse gases? These are food, construction, fashion, fast-moving consumer goods, electronics, auto, professional services and logistics. Of these 8, food with a share of 25% of global emission has by far the highest share. This tells us that driving for a carbon neutral supply chain is not a symbolic move, but it is something that is real, tangible and frankly required. In order to make progress, you and your suppliers will need to make a multitude of changes across your operations. But at a high level, this can be grouped into 8 broad categories. Circularity and recycling. This means less use of virgin materials that must be mined. Material process efficiency, meaning less material usage and energy consumption. Renewable power, for example solar and wind instead of coal and gas. Renewable heat, for example from biomass. New processes, and here green steel is a prominent example. Nature-based solutions with sustainable agriculture in focus. Fuel switch, which encompasses green fuel, batteries and hydrogen. And finally carbon capture, where you would store greenhouse gases underground. And these categories come at a vastly different cost. The first 3, circularity, material and process efficiency and renewable power, come at a cost at about 10 euros per ton of CO2. The next 3, renewable heat, new processes and nature-based solutions, will cost your supply chain between 10 and 100 euros per ton. The remaining 2, fuel switch and carbon capture, are the most expensive ones and cost more than 100 euros per ton. But these are just averages. If we look into the 8 supply chains accounting for 50% of greenhouse gas emissions, we see very different cost impacts. On one end, we have the fashion industry that can benefit from relatively cheap changes, while the logistics industry will have to deal with very, very expensive changes. My 2 favorite industries, auto and electronics, are toward the quite favorable end of this continuum. What is also interesting is how funding these changes will impact the end-user prices of products. The price of a car should increase by 500 euros, the price of a pair of jeans by 1 euro, and the price of a smartphone should increase by just 3 euros. So the case for carbon neutral supply chains is clear, and the required changes are well known, and for most industry the cost is far from prohibitive. So why isn't it done widely? Well, the problem is that companies are dealing with thousands of end-tier suppliers all over the globe. Some companies don't even know their end-tier suppliers. Many companies have limited transparency on emissions and struggle with getting access to reliable data. Often, procurement teams are unaware of low-carbon alternatives when they make business award decisions. But it needs to be done. Should this have aroused your interest, I suggest you download the recent World Economic Forum report on the Net Zero Challenge that has been co-authored by my colleagues. I will leave a link in the description of this video. So there you have it, Purchasing Chessboard Method F7, Sustainability Management, a method that shows you how much has changed since 2008. Okay, now it is your turn. Where do you stand with driving for a carbon neutral supply chain? And what did you learn from the World Economic Forum report? Should you have any question, let me know in the comments down below and I will get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next one. Bye!